Welcome back, everyone. Today we'll be going over how to get your stat weights as a Holy Paladin and implement them in the in-game pawn add-on that you can download via curse.com or their add-on client to determine if a piece of gear is an upgrade. If you're too preoccupied with real-life things, I can do them for you. All you have to do is visit my Twitch channel at www.twitch.tv/Paramo after 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday through Friday, and I can get them for you. But if you want to learn how to do it yourself, since it's a pretty easy process and requires constant updating after you get a new piece of gear, the first thing you'll want to do is go to the Curse client and download Pawn for later use. To do that, you can simply go to mods.curse.com/addons/wow/pawn and download it now or install via the Curse client. The only beneficial thing from installing via the Curse client is you get to skip a whole bunch of steps that I will not be going over because most people do have the client downloaded. Now, if you have the client downloaded, you're just going to open up your Curse client as so, search in the Get More Add-ons portion Pawn, and obviously install it. I already have mine installed. After this, you're going to want to go to the Holy Paladin Discord. A link to that will be in the description below. This is actually the general Paladin Discord. You can find specialists of all specs for Paladins in these. I mainly hang out in the Holy Paladin Discord to answer anyone's questions that they have. But you're going to need to go to the Resources tab and get a spreadsheet. The spreadsheet's going to be DreamGuard. DreamGuard is one of the #1 Holy Paladin theory crafters. As you can see, he's over here in the theory crafting rank. And you're going to click on his spreadsheet right here. I've already done it, so I'm going to pull it up right now. After you get to this phase right here where you have the whole thing open, you can notice that it's in view only mode. Now, in order for you to get your stat weights, as you can see, he has an option here, and these are the stat weights for these character stats. You're going to want to go ahead and click File and make a copy. A lot of people don't know that they need to do this and try to get permissions, and they get denied over and over, and it's because they don't know that they can make a copy of this spreadsheet. Just imagine thousands and thousands of people trying to edit these stats all at the same time to get their stat weights. It would be completely chaotic. So you have to make a copy in order to do this. You're going to be brought to this screen to copy the document, and it's going to ask you to copy the name. Let's name this YouTube copy, because I do have 5 copies of this because it's constantly updating. You should always check for this to update every week through the Holy Paladin Discord. There is a change log that I will show you guys after this. So let's make it YouTube. It's going to open up a new page that says the same exact thing that it says here, but now you guys can see that I don't have a view only thing here. I can go in here and edit all these stats if I want to, like 0, bam. And it'll adjust all the stats here. This loading bar is going to tell, once it's done calculating all the formulas, it will output everything that you need here. So, but while it's doing that, let's go over the change logs. You always want to go here to make sure you have the most up-to-date spreadsheet. Mine was actually out to date on the 22nd, a couple days ago, so I upgraded it and got the new one and updated all my stat weights within the Pawn add-on. So now that you guys can see it adjusts everything, you're going to want to go in-game. So I'm going to try and do this here to the best of my ability so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm sorry this is not as scripted as my other videos, but I feel like I should get this information out as fast as possible. So excuse me for all of my grammatical speech errors. I do think I have a speech impediment because I get really nervous really fast. But when you get in game, you're going to open up your character interface, correct? You're going to go back to the spreadsheet that you find here, and you're going to get all of the stats for your currently equipped gear. So I have a flask on right now, so I'm actually going to click that off. I'm also going to click my buff food off. And we're going to get the raw stats, no buffs whatsoever. So I have 35,173. So you're going to go ahead in here, put 35,173 intellect. Then you're going to go ahead and get the rating for your secondary stats, not the percentage, the rating. You can tell the rating by the critical strike right there where it says 10,596 or 30.27%. So you're going to take that 10,596% and put it in here, 10,596. Then you're going to go with the mastery, 5,111. Or haste, I'm sorry. Haste, 2,743. 2,743. Then mastery, 5,111. And then versatility, which is 3,676. 3,676. Now you're not done there, because you need to actually go through and fill out all of this information that is in yellow. So we have no tier piece 19s, 20s, or 21s yet. You have to also update your race, because if you're not human, you won't get the beneficial 2% secondary from each stat. This is also optional. You can adjust this according to your playstyle and your raid comp if you think you can do it, and it'll give you a more accurate output for your stat weights and heals per second and time to and all that good stuff. So the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to fill out your artifact to what you have. So let's go back in game. Let's shift click my artifact, and as you guys can see, I have none in Knight of the Silver Hand. So you're going to go to Knight of the Silver Hand over here. We're going to put 0. We're going to go to Justice Through Sacrifice, put 2. And then we're going to go to Share the Burden and put 1. Another important thing to do is change all of the ones that have relics. So Blessing of the Silver Hand is going to change to 4 since we have a relic for it. And then Shock Treatment is going to change to 5 since we have 2 relics in there. This is important because it will affect your healing throughput and efficiencies, and also your stat weights. After this, you're going to want to choose your talents. And this is also important to get like a roundabout average of what you'll be using. So my talents in dungeons are a little bit different than my talents in raids, because I am going with a newer, up-to-date Shakaden build for most of the raiding content, since I've learned how to master it and can output a decent amount of damage with healing at the same time. We're going to go ahead and use those talents. NYI means not yet implemented, or not yet updated, I'm pretty sure. But it'll still adjust it according to what the last update was. I do use Rule of Law. I use Blinding Light. Depending on the fight, I use Aura of Mercy, so we're going to keep Aura of Mercy there. And then for Holy Prism or Divine Purpose, it really depends. I actually use all 3 of those talents in raids. So you could just change it, and you guys will see that the stat weights will change along with it as I keep changing between the 3. So let's go with the one I typically find myself using more, which is a mixture between Holy Prism and Divine Purpose. So let's go with Holy Prism because it's on the lower end for critical strike. I use Judgment of Light or Sanctified Wrath depending on the fight. On a fight where there's a lot of AoE damage going out, I typically use Judgment of Light paired with the Vial of Nightmare Fog Trinket. If not, you can go ahead and choose whichever one you use. I'm going to go ahead and use the Judgment of Light one. And then for the last, you can use Beacon of the Lightbringer or Faith. These will just give you roundabout ideas of what your stat weight should be. I find myself using Beacon of Faith for most of the tank heavy fights such as Ursoc, Elreth, and a couple other ones that are out there. You can also just change it back to Beacon of the Lightbringer if you want, or if you do it like this, because I do cheese logs like this on Heroic, you can use Beacon of Virtue. It's all up to you. All these talent choices are up to you. So let's go to Beacon of Faith or Beacon of the Lightbringer. Now that we have that set up and all of our traits filled out, you can go down here to the consumables. You can select an augment rune for 375 intellect and all your flask and food. If you don't want to do this, that's completely fine. Your stat weights might change according to those. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to take note of these stat weights so that in game you can implement them into the pawn add-on. And I'll show you guys how to do that now. So we're going to move my spreadsheet to the right screen there, and I'm going to open up the pawn add-on. As you can see, the pawn add-on comes with a lot of default stat weights that I particularly don't agree with. So what you have to do is you have to go to values, and you have to also create your own string. So you're going to go to manual, and it should create your own scaling. I have my own scaling as my scaling here. Once you figure out how to get your own scaling to pop up, you can go in and now implement the new stat weights. So for critical strike rating, my crit since the last time the spreadsheet has updated is now 0.97. My haste is now 0.8. Mastery is 0.87. And versatility had a 0.03 rating 0.04 rating upgrade and is now 0.91. After that, you don't need to save anything. You just close it out and you're good. Pawn will now tell you if an item is an upgrade. So I think I have some stuff in my bank to see if it's an upgrade. Actually, I have stuff in my bags to tell you how much of an upgrade is something. Now this is kind of crazy because I'm going to be comparing a legendary to an 880 piece of gear, but it at least gives you an idea of what you can expect from this add-on. So we're going to compare my 880 bracers off of Mythic Nathendra with Uther's Guard legendary. As you can see, it tells me that it's an 11% upgrade, and this is the upgrade rating for the item. And you can see it explains here why everything is an upgrade and how they came to a conclusion of 11%. You can do this with any type of item. You can compare 2 legendary rings if you have them. You can compare literally anything in the game so long as you have the correct stat weights. Now, for example, let's say I get a 895 piece of gear and I'm trying to see if it's better than the Uther's Guard. Remember, if I equipped Uther's Guard and I don't have these on, I have to change my stats inside of the spreadsheet to get new stat weights to determine if that 895 would be better than Uther's Guard. So for example, let's say I'm getting 145 intellect. I would add that 145 intellect and all those other secondary stats to this player stats right here. It'll output new stat weights. I have to put the stat weights into the scaling when it's over here in the values tab, and then go back and compare the 2 pieces. And that's literally all you have to do to use this pawn, get your personal stat weights to your personal play style, and to find out if you have better loot in your bags or if you just got a piece of better loot. Another cool thing about this add-on or about this spreadsheet is it tells you if 2 trinkets, it compares trinkets for you. You can either do it over here or you can go down to the trinkets tab here and get the value in heals per second for every single trinket that is currently available in the game. So let's go back to the main and let's compare 2 of the trinkets that I have. I have a Vial of Nightmare Fog that's 865, right? So we have the Vial of Nightmare Fog selected there. It's 865 without a socket. And I also have the Dark Moon deck Hellfire. So as you can see, it's comparing the 2 real time for my stat weights. As you can see, the Dark Moon deck Hellfire is actually better than my Vial of Nightmare Fog. And that takes into account all of the information you inputted, your artifact information, talents information, player stats information, your advanced information, your consumables, it factors in all of that. Now let's see if it's better than, let's say, my Arcana Crystal. Where is the Arcana Crystal? Unstable. And you can see there, I have an 860 Arcana Crystal, and it's not better than it. So that's how you can also determine which trinkets you use in a raid environment. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's how you get your stat weights. That's how you can compare your own trinkets with one another. And that's how you can utilize Pawn and Dreamguard's spreadsheet to the full of its potential to better yourself as a Holy Paladin. And the only other way to do that is to actually go out there and put your skill to use. This is only a tool that will help you with your gear. It'll also help you with what heals to look out with the most. But the only way to become a better Holy Paladin is to just get out there, heal dungeons, heal raids, and put yourself on the map. I hope this video helped you guys out with learning how to do this. And I hope that you guys can improve your gameplay a little bit. I use it all the time. I update this thing almost every day to every 3 days because I never know when there's going to be a new update on the spreadsheet. You always got to go back, copy it, delete your old copies of it, or just create a copy every time you need to use it. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want more content like this, please subscribe and let me know what you would like to see in the comments below. And if you want to see me play as a Holy Paladin, I play 6 days out of the week, sometimes even 7, after 3 p.m. North American Eastern Standard Time at www.twitch.tv/Peremo. That's Peremo. I will have links to all of these tools in the description if you need it. If you don't have the time, like I said in the introduction, you can always visit my Twitch channel. The only thing I'm going to need for you is your artifact information. I'm not going to even need your talents because most people have a general idea of what talents to use, and your player stats. That's literally all I'll need. And I appreciate you guys watching the video and supporting me along the way and dealing with my slow speech impediment. I'm really sorry about that I wasn't able to script this video, but I felt that it was too important to script and hold on to for a little bit because there's a lot of people that are asking about stat weights, and I figured I'd get this video out there as fast as possible. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time, and make sure you check out my Twitch channel and give me a follow up over there.